Hi guys, Christiana here from Don't Mention the Reptilians. This is another update. I haven't updated for a little while. I've been busy with all sorts of stuff, and let's get straight to it. So the last time I did an update, we were getting ready for the Repcon, which is the Reptilian conference set here in England, in Bury, and that went really well, I thought. In such a short space of time, in 3 months, we managed to sort of get around 75-80 people, which isn't really bad here for the UK, with such short notice as well. Generally, you know, if you were organising a conference, you probably want to give yourself 9 months to a year, probably. But in that short space of time, we managed to sort of really do really well. It still ended up costing me a lot of money to put on, but it's just one of those things that it's a bit of a learning curve, the conferences. I think anyone thinking about it, I think you get into that sort of thing and assume that it's a lot simpler than it is, and it can be quite stressful at times. Financially, it can be difficult because it's 9 times out of 10, if you bring in international speakers, it's going to end up costing you money. But it was great to meet James, I had a little help getting James over here from a guy called Chris Loader. So thanks, Chris, again. I know I thought I'd thank you at the event, but if you're watching this, thank you very much. So overall, the event was fantastic. Everybody thought it went down really well. Before the event, the week before the event, my edit suite went down. Probably about 4 days before the event, 2 drives went down on the PC, which was awful timing. I mean, you never want that sort of thing to happen. Fortunately, I backed up 99% of my files, which I always do. But in regards to getting the files set up and resetting up the edits and everything else in regards to the documentaries, that takes a shed load of time. Not to mention fitting new drives. The unusual thing about it was that I had this SSD go down, which is sort of unusual for an SSD anyway, and simultaneously the SATA drive went down as well. So that wasn't fun, because there was some 1 or 2 projects on there that I wanted to keep, but you know, data recovery and all the rest of that is not always 100% successful. But that aside, that sort of set me back 5-6 weeks even, just to sort of collect all that data. Then I went on holiday for a week, which was booked last year. So all in all, it's been quite a stressful time, from the very organising the conference, and obviously you're juggling projects, trying to get paid working, which is difficult, which is, you know, ultimately I'm sort of, with Daniel, I've said it before, but Daniel's sort of moving on to other things now. He's looking into doing sort of documentaries on food and health and spirituality and martial arts. That's sort of Daniel's sort of speciality. So a lot of this stuff going forward now, I'm sort of working on my own. So I am looking for someone here in the Manchester region to work with on these projects, because not only is it a financial drain, but the workload is just too much. Trying to research 3-4 documentaries, interview people, do the production, sort out the locations for the reenactments, sorting out the actors, paying the actors if they do get paid, if we can even afford to pay them. Some of them do it for free, which they shouldn't really have to do that. And also with all of that, there's sort of other work that you've got to try and get paid work in to sort of pay the bills, essentially, which is just really not happening at the moment. So unless I really get someone in to help and sort of take that load off me, it's going to be really difficult to get things up and running again at any sort of pace. So anyone out there watching this that's interested, that's in the Bolton, Bury, Manchester region, because you really preferably would need to be close by, because we need to converse. I mean, you can do a lot of conversing on Skype, but it's better to meet in person a lot. You know, most likely we won't know one another, so it's sort of like building that trust relationship that you're working with someone. And often a lot of people are interested in the ufology and the alternative scene, but don't really know how it works, much about the scene. So with that, in those regards, I can sort of let people know what the score is. in return in regards to sort of etiquette and that sort of thing, which is when I first got into this scene I didn't know much about. Now you might say that not a lot of people use etiquette and respect in this field, but I think I've always tried to maintain that in my work. So that's sort of one of the prerequisites really of getting someone in to work with. If you're interested, drop me a line, christurnervfx@gmail.com. It will mean funding the documentaries, it will mean funding interviews, funding reenactments, travelling, driving, researching projects, taking witness statements, getting on site to places, meeting people. It's that sort of thing. So if you've got free time, it's going to take up a lot of that free time, which is cool. If you've got a family, it's something you need to consider, that it will take a lot, some of that time up. I mean, it can be done. I do it, but it's not a great balance. You need to find that balance. Particularly, this is why I'm looking for someone, because alone, finding that balance is very difficult. Also, if you're working full time, it is something you can do if you've also got a full time job. It just needs to be managed properly, and roles really need to be defined. You know, who's doing what. So yeah, so that's one of the major things. The Repcon DVD is now available. You can order that from me by going to the website don'tmentionreptilians.com, or you can find it on Don't Mention Your Reptilians Facebook page. You can find it, if you want one, just email me, christurnervfx@gmail.com, and I'll put the link down here to purchase that. It's a really good series of lectures. I have to charge for it. Essentially, I'm sort of like $2,000 down on the conference, which is not great, really. So what can I say about that? There's not really much more I can say about that. It's a decent price, $12.99. It's nothing really. The tickets were like 30 quid. So I would love to put the work out there for free, but over the 10 years that I've been doing this, I've been doing majority of my work. I do indie VFX work for free, I do filming work for free, I do graphics for free. I just can't maintain doing things for free all the time. It's just something that I really can't do. So please support me and get the Repcon DVD. If you wish to make a donation towards some of the projects that I've got coming up, I'm not really sure how to set that donate feature up on YouTube. I'll try and get that sorted. You can email me again, and you know, if that's something that you want to try to do.